Hello and welcome back to Clicks on the Side. Today we're going to be doing a 300-point modern theme team based around DC's martial artist. We have done a build of this before, but that was back when Notorious was around. And now that we are in the world of Lantern Legacy, we are going to update that team. So, to get us started off, we are looking at Lantern Legacy Uncommon number 26. We are bringing in the Sandman. Nice sculpt, nothing too flashy, but I like it. Not bad at all. I am actually glad to see the JSA making a return. Here we go. We do have the Sandman. Has the JSA team ability, the Black Lantern Corps, Justice Society, Detective, Martial Artist, Past, and Scientist keywords. For 35 points, you get 4 clicks of health, a range of 4 with 1 target. You start off with Sidestep, Poison, Combat Reflexes, all of those throughout the dial. And he has Probability Control for the first 2 clicks, and then that changes to some Perplex. Not bad at all for 35 points. And he does also have a trait, a Simpler Time. Sandman, once per turn for all characters with this trait. When a character uses JSA team ability to replace its defense value with Sandman's, after resolutions, you may choose that this turn, that character can use stealth. So that actually is not going to come into play with this team because, well, almost everybody can already use stealth. He does also have a second trait for 35 points as an uncommon, and that is Mystery Man. Stealth. Smoke Cloud as free. When Sandman attacks he may instead target all opposing characters occupying squares with smoke markers he generated, regardless of range, line of fire, or adjacency. If he does, hit characters are given an action token instead of normal damage. Gotta love a free smoke cloud, especially with this build we have going on in here. And then, like I said, he does have the Black Lantern keyword. So, of course, we are going to give him the Black Lantern ring. With that does grant Steal Energy. If this character can already use Steal Energy, when they use it, they heal 2 clicks instead. Now, with the Black Lanterns, instead of constructs, you get power. If no character generated by this character was on your force this turn, and this equipment is friendly to your force, generate a Lantern Legacy number 8 Black Lantern Reanimate on their red starting line. If this character has a listed keyword, the power effect is activated as free instead. So yes, you can get a free Black Lantern Reanimate with that ring. There she is at 15 points. You do get some plasticity with blank attack, toughness, and exploit weakness. And she does come with a trait, the Horde's Rise. Blades, Claws, Fangs, Steal Energy. When Black Lantern Reanimate uses Blades, Claws, Fangs and rolls a 1 or 2, after resolutions generate a Lantern Legacy number 8 Black Lantern Reanimate on its red starting line adjacent to the hit character. So you can possibly get even more of the reanimates out there. Not bad at all. For all that, for 35 points, I will take that all day. Up next, we are leaving Lantern Legacy for a moment, and we are going back to the Masters of Time with an old favorite. Very, very nice figure. I did not understand what I was getting when I did pull her, but she has proven to be very reliable. From Masters of Time, we are looking at super rare number 49, Shadow. I did really like the sculpt when I did pull it. I did not know the character too well at the time, but I've come to learn more about her and appreciate all that she can do. Let's take a look at Shadow. She is going to be coming in at 75 points. Has the Underworld team ability, Assassin, Marksman, and Martial Artist keywords. For 75 points, you do get range of 5 with 3 targets, improved movement through character bases, and improved targeting through character bases. Starts off with a special movement power, precision strike, ESD, and a special damage power. That does turn into sidestep with a blank attack, super senses, and probability control in the middle of her dial. And then she does finish off back where she started with the same powers. She does have a trait. So fast you don't see my hands move. Range. Make up to 3 range attacks. When Shadow does, she can't target characters that took damage this turn. That's right, that is not make 1 attack targeting 3 characters. It is make 3 range attacks. That is just insane, especially when you see that her special movement to start off with is ninja training, stealth, and running shot. So you can running shot and then go ahead and pull off that range with that trait. Just very, very strong, and I'm very much looking forward to seeing what she can do on this team. And then we do have her special damage power as well. He would be so proud of what you've become. Range combat expert enhancement. Friendly characters with the marksman keyword modify range +1. And guess what? She is friendly to herself. So she, as long as she has that power, will have a range of 6. So anything with that running shot combo, anything within 10 squares that is in line of sight would be fair game. Very, very solid for 75 points. Now, she does have marksman. So I did not dig it out, but there is still one set of trick arrows that you can use in Modern, and that is from the Cupid Deadpool set. I believe all the others have rotated out now, so hopefully we get some new trick arrows soon. But as of right now, you can still give her some free equipment if you want to go to the ones from Cupid Deadpool. Up next, we are going out of our booster boxes and going to a Whiz Kids exclusive. This is one I was looking forward to getting. I've not been able to make it to any events, but I did make a trade from somebody coming back from Worlds, so their prizes worked out for me and worked out for them in trades. So, from WizKids 2024 line of exclusives, we are bringing in Katana. That's right, I was finally able to get my hands on a Katana. I did go ahead and take her out. Here she is. Correct me if I'm wrong, I believe this is the first time we've seen Katana since Joker's Wild. So it is good to see a new sculpt for her. Yeah, you'll go right there. Why not? All right, and here is Katana. 40 points. Gets you 6 clicks of health. She has the Outsiders team ability. Birds of Prey, Outsiders, and Martial Artist keywords. You know how I like my Suicide Squad, so I was hopeful she would get it, but no such luck. But still, for 40 points, 6 clicks of health, no range, but still 1 target, improved movement through character bases, and does start, her dial is pretty basic. Charge, blades, combat reflexes. That's all you need to know. She does have a couple of traits as well. The hunt continues, stealth, and willpower. That is handy with the free smoke cloud we are getting. And then she does have her second trait, which is very cool, Soul Taker's Sword. When Katana KOs an opposing standard character, instead of placing it in your opponent's KO area, turn it to any click and place it on her card. They are still scored. Katana can use the standard attack and standard damage powers displayed on characters on her card. So, you are trying to target opponents that have shape change, that have exploit weakness. Maybe steel energy would be great. I actually thought she would have some steel energy with that sword, but it is what it is. Some Precision Strike, you'll probably try to target that. Lots of good possibilities that you'll want to try to add to your Katana. And for 40 points, not bad. Pretty deadly. Love having blades throughout. Combat reflexes. You're wanting to get her up in the fight, or you're wanting to bring the fight to her with that stealth. You can just hide out in the smoke cloud until they come up to her. Yeah, definitely options to go with that. Now, if you are not familiar with the Outsiders, there it is. Choose a character, including itself, within 6 squares and line of fire. Until your next turn, the chosen character's combat values can't be modified, and that is uncopyable. Yeah, as soon as I saw that sculpt, I knew I did have to add her to the collection. I wasn't sure what all teams I was going to be able to get her on with the lack of keywords. There aren't too many Outsiders out there, and very few Birds of Prey, especially with Notorious going out. So martial artist or bust at the moment, but hopefully that will change before too long. Okay, so those are going to be most of our support pieces. That's going to bring us to our heavy hitters. And the next one is one I was very excited to get. That has changed slightly. Still a good piece, but I realized some, and we'll get into that here in a moment. But we are looking at Chase, number 56 from Lantern Legacy, and I was able to get my hands on the Atom. I do really like this sculpt, and he is still a very good piece, but he has come to disappoint me ever so slightly. We'll get into that in just a moment. Here is the Atom. 50 points. Has the JLA team ability as well as a team player. Indigo Tribe, Justice League, Teen Titans, one of the main reasons I had to have him as I collect my Teen Titans. Herald, Martial Artist, and Scientist keywords. 50 points gets you 6 clicks of health, a range of 3 with 1 target, flight, and improved movement through blocking and character bases. Has a special movement ability for his first 3 clicks. Precision Strike throughout. Alternates between combat reflexes and super senses before landing on willpower. Then he does have a special damage power for the first 3 clicks, and that goes into combat, close combat expert at the tail end. Does have a trait, and that is I'm compassionate, not defenseless. Shape change, stealth, support. Love all 3 of those. Free, make an attack targeting an opposing character that attacked the Atom or another friendly character with the Herald or Indigo Tribe keywords since your last turn. Now, as you've seen, that does not include anyone who has been on the team yet, but it will here in just a little bit. But anytime you're able to get a free attack in, absolutely gotta love that. Then there is the special movement power he has on the top dial. Do they have phone lines in space? Sidestep. Free. If the Atom is adjacent to a friendly character that shares a keyword with him, you may place him adjacent to another friendly character within 6 squares. And then that will lead us to our special damage power. That is Indigo Insight. Probability control. Free. Choose either Outwit or Perplex for the Atom to use until your next turn. You may instead choose both, but if you do, the Atom must use both to target the same opposing character. Not bad at all, especially for 50 points. Very solid piece. He really is. And here's where we get to my disappointment. He is tiny sized. So, I don't know how much research you've done into Lantern Legacy, but including legacy cards, there are only 2 members of the Indigo Tribe. So that means there are potentially are only 2 pieces in the entire set that can have the Indigo ring equipped for free. That would have been the Atom, and that would have been Kyle Rayner. The Atom is tiny sized, so he cannot start the game with the indigo ring, making this automatically 10 points for anyone except for Kyle Rayner. So you will not be starting the game with the indigo ring with the Atom. I feel like that is such a missed opportunity. They should have given the Atom somewhat like the Ant-Man treatment, where he starts off regular sized and then would have a trait or a power that allows him to shrink or get bigger as needed in the situation. I get it. He's the Atom. Any other set, completely understand. And in most cases, being tiny sized is a plus because it gives you some range, additional defense against range. But you really want the indigo ring on this guy since he already does have support. It almost makes me wonder why they bothered doing the indigo ring at all. Let me know if you think I'm nitpicking. I just found that a little irritating that they were not able to better incorporate all of the cores. Even the Star Sapphires were lacking. If it wasn't for the legacy pieces in Fatality and Mia, it would have just been Kyle Rayner again. Would have been the only Star Sapphire if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, but so don't get me wrong. I know people love their greens, but so many greens, a lot of reds, a lot of yellows. Which don't get me wrong, I love my yellows, I love my reds, but I wish some of the other cores would have got a little bit more love. The blues, there weren't many blues, except for ones that were blue and green. But it was Lantern Legacy. It felt like it was more Green Lantern Legacy, I guess is where I'm getting at. I shouldn't complain. I still love the set. I love a lot of the pieces that are in it. That was just a little... Let me know if you think I'm nitpicking, but I'll stop there. So that is the Atom, and I'm still very glad to have him because, like I said, I do collect my Teen Titans. He's a solid piece, and it's a great sculpt. So very happy to have him on the team. But that does leave us with 100 points to put a big hitter on the team. And what better big hitter than Yellow Lantern Batman? I knew this was the chase that I wanted from this set. I know a lot of people had their eyes on White Lantern Superman, Atrocitus, which I was lucky enough to pull, but this was my main want, and we were able to make it work. I was really, really hoping we were getting a legacy card for a Yellow Lantern Scarecrow or a new one, but this one, I can't complain that we have a new or first. I think this is the first time this was clicked. If I'm wrong, do correct me, but I'm very excited to have the Batman in Yellow Lantern form. He is going to be the full 100 points. He has the Batman ally team ability, Batman family, Gotham City, Sinestro Corps, Detective, Herald, Martial Artist, and Scientist keywords. Love that he has so many keywords so you can play around with him on many different teams. Batman family, good. Gotham City, good. Scientist, great. Detective, still strong. Here we have Martial Artist. Yeah, every single one of them, very, very solid. 100 points does get you 8 clicks of health, a range of 5 with 2 targets, and improved targeting through hindering terrain and while adjacent. He does also have flight. He does start off with Running Shot, a special attack power, Invincible, and Outwit. And then you do see there on click number 3 is a special defensive power. It's also on click number 8, and I believe that is a stop click. Starting with click number 4, he has Sidestep with that special attack power, Combat Reflexes, and Outwit. Then he does switch to Range Combat Expert, before at the tail end switching back to his original form. He does have a trait, Flock of Yellow Bats, Perplex. When Batman uses it, targeted characters can't use improved targeting abilities until your next turn. Opposing lines of fire to friendly characters within 3 squares of Batman are hindered. Absolutely solid. So even if you are not able to take advantage of the smoke cloud from the Sandman, as long as you stay close enough to Batman, you are now hindered and you are getting some stealth action. There is the special attack power that he starts off with. Beware your power. Energy Explosion. Batman deals penetrating damage to opposing characters of less points than him. At 100 points, you have a much better chance of that. There are still some beefy boys out there that would be able to block that penetrating damage, but still, at 100 points, I will take my chances. And then there is that special defensive power, time to beware mine. Stop. Combat reflexes invincible. When this click is revealed, after resolutions remove an action token from Batman and give an action token to an opposing character within range. There you have it. So you're going to want to try to keep Batman somewhere near the Atom, preferably within 6 squares. That way you can take advantage of the Atom's special there to have him move adjacent to a friendly character within 6 squares, and then use his support should Batman take too many hits. And of course, he's got to have the Sinestro ring. And just in case you aren't familiar, it does grant Perplex. If this character can already use Perplex, when they use it to negatively modify a combat value, they modify it by -2 instead, which he has traded Perplex, so that's going to help him throughout his dial. Absolutely very excited to try this team out and see how it does. This one was more of a want project for me. I don't expect it to do the best, but I wanted to get a team together with that Batman. I'm very much looking forward to Streets of Gotham coming out, because right now there's not a lot of Gotham City or Batman family to go around to build a team with that's not Batman. Lots of Batman and Masters of Time. Lots of Batman here in Lantern Legacy, but not too many others. So Streets of Gotham is going to be my set. Very much looking forward to that. But let me know what you think of this build. If there's anything you would change to it, if you think it will find any success. Let me know what you think about the Atom and some of the cores not getting the love that others did, but or if that's just me. But I digress. That has been it for me. Thank you very much for joining me. And until next time, this has been Clicks on the Side.